In the world of Bambu Lab 3D printers, this has been a very hot topic, and for good reason. And honestly, as somebody who has been writing code solutions exclusively for these printers, and also invested substantial time and money into these machines, I've been a little bit nervous too. But now that we're a few days into a stable release, I'm here to share my experience with you all in taking the leap. In this video, we will look at what happens when you adopt Bambu's new authorization control firmware for the X1 Carbon. I will walk you through the process to set up for Bambu Studio as well as OrcaSlicer, share some thoughts about how this will affect your workflow, and provide some ideas to how you might overcome some of these new limitations. If you're an OrcaSlicer user like me, who also likes to use the Bambu Handy app, you're going to want to stick around because this will change the way you use your machine. So let's get started. With the firmware panel open on the X1 Carbon, you can see that I'm upgrading from 010802 to 010805. Now, this upgrade says it's going to take about 10 minutes, but what it actually took me was exactly 15 minutes. Back in OrcaSlicer 2.2, I've removed all machines but two, just to make it easier to look at. I can see the X1 Carbon is here. If I click the webcam, nothing happens, to be expected. And also my filaments have showed up, but I cannot configure them, which is also expected. There is a warning in the HMS, and if we click on it, we can see that it's just wanting us to start the verification process. Opening up Bambu Studio, 0110 0150. I can see my machine once again. I can see a little bit more information about the filaments, but ultimately I can't refresh them. I can configure, no, it just gives me the default, so it's not even showing me my profiles. And we get the same message in the HMS. I know that the authentication process only works in the newest version of Bambu Studio, so I will upgrade to that. I'll provide the link in the description for the newest version of Bambu Studio as well as OrcaSlicer. Now we're back in the newest version of Bambu Studio, and I can see right away with the camera that everything seems to be in good working order. There are no errors in the HMS, and my machine presets all appear to be here despite the repeated comments that Bambu was removing the ability to use our own custom G-code. Looking a little bit deeper, I can see that all of my custom G-code has populated every field but the one I don't use, so let's send a print using my custom G-code and put that comment to bed. Now I will just add a quick cube. We'll slice that, send it to the machine, and we'll make sure that the G-code is actually executing on the machine. You can see that the custom G-code is running just fine. First, we're looking at the bed plate just to make sure the plate is in the correct position before it starts the print. And now we've parked the nozzle while we heat it. We're priming the nozzle now. And now that the nozzle is primed, we're going to break that string and park the nozzle on the plate to prevent any oozing. We're going to clean off the nozzle now that it's cool. We're going to give it one last final scrape, tap the chute to knock down any potential purge. And now we can do our true pressure advanced test line before we start printing. And if I have a quick little look at this test line, we can make sure that our PA setting is also brought in, which it appears to be, even though it needs a tad little tuning, maybe 2 or 3 points. Well, that's all good, but what about when we want to resend a print from the Handy app? Will the custom G-code come in with it? Because this is also another comment that says it's going to default to the factory code. So let's give this a try. Opening up the Handy app for the first time, I can see that everything appears to be working right out of the gate, and I can see my last print. I will send that to the machine and we'll give this a shot. And here we go, doing it live. and here is it starting up. And you can see that it is indeed following the custom G-code, meaning comments like this one are officially busted. Let's move on to OrcaSlicer. Before I move on to Orca 2.3, which introduces the new authentication method, it is important to note that 2.3 is still currently in beta. As a machine code developer working in these environments, it's essential to use the latest stable release to ensure the reliability of the code that I'm creating. But as anticipated, even after authenticating through Bambu Studio, I encountered the same error message and limited functionality. However, there is one important detail I want to circle back on shortly. Bambu has specified the use of LAN mode in conjunction with developer mode to connect the printer with OrcaSlicer. So let's go ahead and get that set up in the menu. I'll point out that I'm comfortable sharing my access code for this demonstration since it will be reset shortly after filming. I will also activate the LAN mode live view. This function allows the webcam to operate over the network. Back to the point I wanted to make about 2.2, you will notice that the printer's access code contained 8 characters, but when you tried to bind to the current stable version of Orca, you only get the option to bind with the 6-character pin code. This might throw you for a loop if you didn't do things in a specific order or read through the release notes. So we'll go back to GitHub and we'll install the latest version of OrcaSlicer containing the new authentication method. Now you can see that there are some new options under printers. We have 3 to choose from: the previous option to bind with the pin code, we have the new option to bind with the access code, which is the code displayed currently in the machine, and Orca also detected the machine on the network, which is a great thing, showing that the printer is still broadcasting even though it is in LAN mode. This makes it easy to automatically connect to Orca if you are toggling LAN mode on and off to use the handy app to send jobs to your machines over the internet. The very first thing that I noticed when the camera came back online was how terrible the quality and the frame rate was. This is a huge disappointment considering that the LAN mode should be the most direct connection to my computer with the least amount of stress to the network. So I hope this improves in the future. Once again, I'll add a few primitives in different materials to confirm that our custom code is still executing now that we are running the new firmware in dev mode and using OrcaSlicer. As you can see, everything is running as it should using OrcaSlicer and the new firmware. The filaments are tracking correctly and I'm not seeing any loss of any functionality. Now if we open up the Handy app, once again, you can see that LAN and dev mode has crippled the connection with Bambu Handy. I'm going to go back to the printer and toggle these off, and this restores the connectivity to Bambu. As long as we don't reset the password, we can toggle this on and off and OrcaSlicer will automatically reconnect. Otherwise, you will be met with this process again. With the Handy app reconnected to the printer through Bambu servers, we can now see that the frame rate has been restored for the webcam. And another common misconception that we can shine some light on is that after you upgrade, you can no longer go back, and at the time of making this video, this is not the case. Clicking on the options in the top right corner brings you to the settings page where you can look at the firmware settings. Scrolling to the very bottom reveals an option to revert to older firmwares. So as of the release of this video, you can go back to older firmwares as old as the X1 Plus firmware, but you have to install them incrementally. I hope that this video helps you navigate these new measures implemented by Bambu Lab. I personally believe that Bambu will end up suffering in the long run by implementing these in the way that they have, based on the simple fact that Handy app users like myself who also exclusively use OrcaSlicer, and guys, there are so many reasons right now to use OrcaSlicer over Bambu Studio. This crowd now has an extra measure of complexity keeping us from using the community that Bambu has worked so hard to build, which aims to provide simplicity in the seamless printing of the MakerWorld models right from their app. Like, that is such a cool concept. But what's more than that is during the filming of this video, the process seems to vary for no rhyme or reason. For instance, there were a few times when just switching off the LAN mode, that caused my printer to be fully removed from my account and needing to be manually added back. This is a huge roadblock to the single most important aspect of Bambu printers, and that is that they just work and make a world. Now, you could argue that it does just work if I don't use a third-party app. However, when they include a feature to allow us to use those third-party apps. Anyway, I hope that they do see the bigger picture and maybe they figure out a way to get back to where we were, and they could do all that while increasing their security. But as for my position on what firmware I'll be using on my X1 Carbon, I'll be adopting the X1 Plus firmware for the duration of its continued support. And I want to thank all of my patrons for your continued support because you guys are awesome. You guys are incredible. It's because of my patrons that I'm able to make videos like this one, and I'm able to make more exciting projects that I can give back to the community. So until next time, happy printing, everyone.